Hello world. Tara Sumur from stockbroker to firewalker. I can actually just stand up. Coming in for broadcast 2 on day 11, second set of 9 days of Find It, Feel It, Free It. My way of contributing in a manner that makes sense to me to what I see as an absolute global, worldwide, absolutely soul level, heart level, body level, mind level cry for freedom that may or may not look to you like what anyone else's outside manifestation of freedom may look like. Maybe we're crying for a freedom that we never had and just didn't know it. Maybe we're crying out for a freedom that we thought we had and we currently don't have. None of that matters. I'm just working with the feeling. So global movement, find it. Simply take some time in your own manner, and you can do a different one in a different way as often as you want to discern, find out, identify, explore what freedom means to you. And then using whatever methods work for you as coherently as you can. Coherence for me is as many parts of the body connected as possible. Feel freedom your way in your body, and from as deep of a level of coherence as you're easily able to access in the moment. Simply set the intention to radiate your feeling of freedom out to the collective. This has incredible personal benefits to anyone contributing, because just the practice of connecting coherently with any sort of feeling within your body is going to bring a whole bunch of personal health benefits, coherency benefits, tangible life change benefits. I know I've read a little bit on them, and I do have intention to share more of this, but if you're interested in the interim, heart math and anything Greg Braden talks about on heart math is all the same validations I'm looking at, and these are peer-reviewed publications, and you can access many of them right through the Heart Math website. They don't cost, it's not hard. Even the practice of radiating and increasing that transmission system or your focus or your body's ability to work with energy, again, is going to bring personal health benefits. And I have this sort of deep belief or knowing that if nothing else, if we can simply create an energetic Petri Dish of freedom, supporting every single aspect of life in this existence or this reality, and if we want to simplify that, supporting every single human currently on this planet in whatever they're doing, whatever emerges from the turmoil and the chaos we're in right now is going to have a better probability of being something that more of us, maybe all of us, will actually be able to feel free in. So, I've had a slightly bumpy day because my quite practical brain is really telling me that I have a whole lot of physical stuff around me that I need to deal with, because I have to have it out of here by the end of next Monday. And I have put out a number, not a huge amount, but between 5 and 10 very direct contacts to people I know well as a number of much more widely cast contacts. No one is responding. No one is getting back to me. I don't know if they've actually got the emails or the messages. I know I've followed up with a couple of people and they've been blank on even what I'm sending. So I feel a little stuck because I've opened up a lot of possibilities, but I don't actually know what I'm needing to do or where I'm going. And I don't know how to pack things unless I know where it's all going. So trying to really sit in the discomfort of unbelievable levels of unknown, knowing that the consequences to me if I fail are going to be as big, maybe bigger than anything I've ever experienced. And recognizing that if I stress too hard, my own body will crash me to the ground. And that's all in the overlay of COVID, if I happen to wake up with a sniffle. But I have been living with the stress of what if I wake up with a sniffle since COVID started. So at the current moment, my amazing immune system, which I do appreciate because I spent a good decade of my life with feeling like pretty much half my time was in bed due to one cold or infection or that after another. So the immune system I now have, I appreciate. It's probably going to stay working for me for the next week. So I do have a number of power crystals on my crystal infusion table. And I am experimenting also with all of you guys out there. I have been working with stones for a while, and I've been working with all of these pieces, but not just committing to them the way I have in the last year, and especially in the last 2 weeks, where I've started being more public and talking about some of the things that I do, where I am, to my knowledge, not aware that we have too much in the world of science validating what I say yet. And if we do have it, it probably hasn't made it into at least the peer-reviewed level, which is what I prefer to source from if I have a choice. Again, I'm okay to go on record with, I do believe that what I have on this table behind me looks like a bunch of rocks, but I do happen to live in a world where I believe that rocks, maybe separately, maybe together, and the planet and trees and a lot of other things actually have consciousness in a similar way to humans. Animals, I believe, have consciousness also. Can go on from there. Big topics. And as I've been doing this with these different sets, all in coherence, so working with these 2 sets of spirals, and I've actually been exploring bringing them down from the 9th frequency to what we'd see as the beginning frequency. We start from 1. We don't have a negative in these. And then I've been exploring with running them the other way. I do have it on behind me. I doubt it transfers well onto the mic. If I ever have the opportunity to have someone who knows more than me helping me with all of the equipment, maybe we can figure out a better way. But I have, for myself, been experiencing a number of new thoughts and new dreams and new awarenesses. I'll wake up in the morning and realize I put all the crystals down in a certain pattern, not realizing it till the morning that I actually have put them down in some sort of a pattern that makes sense. And anyhow, if nothing else, it's making me feel better in the moment, and my body likes sitting in what at one time sounded like overwhelming sound. I put myself on the monitors and it creates coherence. So as much as I'm living a life right now where I experience moments of fear, profound moments of fear, absolute terror at levels I don't really ever recall, although as a small child I sort of feel like I lived, and I don't really have a good story on why, but I feel like I spent my first 7 years or so living in a permanent paralysis of fear, to the point where I couldn't function at all, or really be near almost any human without some practice to be used to being near to that energy. But other than maybe that, I have never had the intensity of fear that I've had a few moments in over the last couple days. Again, I don't know why. So when I feel that, I simply breathe through it and recognize that I can fight it and it will get worse, or I can breathe in it. And if I'm still breathing, I'm alive and I'm still here. And so that's how I deal with it. Again, I don't recommend people take the path that I'm taking, but it is the path I'm on, so I keep walking it. Okay, so that was a fairly big sharing, and also more I just felt a need to come on. I don't really know why, but there was some reason that I needed to open up the lines and let this broadcast out. And I don't know what this is going to sound like, people. I'd encourage you to, if anything, close your ears. And if you are energetically sensitive, just, there's a pyramid right here on the top, a quartz pyramid for anyone out there. Let me move that back to where you can hear me. There's a quartz pyramid right here for anyone on this planet who is quite involved with crystals or sacred geometry or whatever your practice is. You could connect into the broadcast coming off that crystal or coming into that crystal. I'm actually pulling the spirals in and down to this planet today, and then I'll reverse them again tomorrow. If you're so called, by all means connect in, because if you have a stone anywhere on this planet, it, I believe, could connect and pick up that frequency. To all my mainstream friends, I recognize that a lot of what I've said in the last few days probably sounds, even to all my clients, this is not where I usually go with all the work I do, because I work so hard to hold the door open for people who are just starting to open their belief systems. And if someone's here and just open to the possibility that engaging and interacting with stones could be a more profound experience or create a bigger change in their life, that there's something beyond it's pretty and it feels good in my hand. There's reasons behind that. I work to open the space for those people. I like to hold the space open for the people. Some of my best days in their store is when the person walked in the door kind of wild-eyed and went, this is my first time in a place like this and I know nothing. And you can kind of feel they want to run back out the door because their brain is saying, this is just all woo-woo and witchcraft, and why would you spend money on rocks, and on and on and on. I'll tell you why you might want to spend money on rocks. And I'll tell you why I might not be crazy. I might be crazy too, but quartz, clear quartz. There's quite a bit of it on here. Most of what I have on here, in fact, not all, is on a clear quartz matrix if we got right to the core. And then it's been clear quartz that has come together. So that is SiO, silicon dioxide, is the formula for clear quartz. It is a big part of what we mine out of the earth to obtain silica. We make silicon from that. Anyone ever heard of Silicon Valley? Yeah, where I'm really going is the same components that are at the core of many of these stones are the same components at the core of how we've created this global way of communicating without any of us seeing. So every time you pick up your cell phone and you dial and you talk to someone without seeing, or maybe you do see energy and you see the movement in the air, but without having a cable or a thing or anything that would have matter or mass connecting, in some ways you're connecting into crystal technology. Okay. I don't even know that I have a specific version of freedom that I'm going to think about today. I'm simply going to do my coherence breathing. So again, how am I going to breathe? Actually, this is one that works very well for me, slightly complicated, but I actually feel that I'm pulling energy into my heart, and then I allow the feel of the breath to split and run up this way, and also run down to my core of my spine. So again, an interesting pattern kind of comes in, wraps around my back and down my front, back to my heart, and does the same thing. Key being whatever else you're doing with breath and whatever else I may be doing with breath. Key to coherence breathing is simply breathing a little more slowly and deeply than usual. Seeing, sensing, feeling, imagining, putting a focus on the energy of your breath or the essence of your breath flowing in and out of your heart. And the goal to that is if we can get your mind, your heart, and your body all talking coherently, rather than arguing and fighting, as many of us walk around doing 100% of the time without any awareness that we're doing it. Again, we start to unlock all levels of deep body wisdom. And if nothing else within our own body, you are going to be able to access tangible health benefits. I don't know for sure what those health benefits would be. There's no set guarantee, and I'm not going to pretend there is. But there is a huge amount of validatable history that there will be something. So again, for anyone on or listening down the road, if you can, sit down for a minute, trust me, and start doing this coherence breathing. No matter where you are, and no matter how bad it is, it won't make it worse. It won't hurt anyone else. So to me, when the worst thing that can happen by trying something new, because you can do this while you're running around, you can do this when you're driving, you don't have to close your eyes, you don't have to stop, you don't have to set aside time. It may work better, it may work faster, the more focus you give it or the more time you give it in the more concentrated of a manner. But those are just ways to moderate the benefits. I don't actually know very many practices that don't come with a risk of a downside. That actually felt really good to say. I'm going to say that again. In my life, it's been rare that I have contemplated something without taking time to acknowledge the risk of it not working out like planned. And teaching your body how to coherently breathe doesn't have a downside. Your worst case is simply a body that has a different breathing pattern and nothing else changes. That's not a bad downside. And radiating that out as I sit here in a beautiful, what I'm going to call the ringing of the spheres, the freedom spiral. Don't know if I'm going to do any more broadcasts today. They're there and set up. And if I feel so inclined, I will come on. If I do not feel so inclined, I will see you tomorrow. Kara Sumur, from Stockbroker to Firewalker, Day 11, second broadcast of the day. Find it, feel it, free it.